a dip in your hip, a glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is Rift Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
Sensitive/offensive content disclaimer. Please note that this podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Oh my God. Welcome, everybody. How you doing this bright and wonderful Friday evening? I got to get Ed to fix that, to put Marci's, the other banner on it, but I didn't make that one, Ed did. So I got to get him to change it. Please excuse me for the yawn. So welcome to Beacon in the Dark. I'm telling you, it's dark out. There's a light here. It was in my eyeballs. I don't know. So, anyways, welcome to Beacon in the Dark. I am Susan, and we have
Marci.
Marci. So, yes. So, tonight, the show is basically all you guys. And you're like, what? Me? Why? Well, it's easy. Beacon in the Dark was built to help you guys. So if you have a topic, a subject, an issue, a problem, it's all about you guys tonight. That's what it's about. And again, welcome to the Rift Nation Network. Definitely RNN, the home of the awesome shows in the world. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and help out the sponsors that help out the network. Awesome place to be. So, are you available to chat? If it's of a personal nature and you need assistance, that's why we're here. If you're looking for something more professional, please send over a message to the Facebook page, which is the Rift Nation Network. That was Emma. Hello, Karen Bullitt. How are you doing? And Michelle Caps. Hi. And hey, Alice. How are you tonight? So, like I said, this show is all about you guys, the subject you want to talk about, healing issues, whatever it is you guys need. That's what it's for. That's what it's about. You want to bitch? Go ahead. Bitch, we'll help you. We'll listen to you. We won't solve your issues. We'll just listen to you. I swear to God. Okay, we're going to try to solve your issues. I can't help that. So, what's been going down? So how's everybody's week been? Mine's been good. I sound stuffy because I have allergies. Nothing I can do about that. They come with me wherever I go. So it's just an allergy issue with me, but I've been doing pretty good. I'm pretty excited to show off my new things tonight after this show. Don't forget to check that out at 8:30. It's SS Crystal and Crafts, and you're gonna find out why it's Crystal and Crafts tonight. So I've been having a blast with this stuff. So and more will be coming. Well, hello, Miss Gail. So tonight, if you guys have a particular subject or topic or something you'd like to talk about, I mean, please let us know. Please, please, please let us know. So how's your week been, Marcy?
Well, they say that right before we go through our next level, we're being tested. And I
Yeah.
was telling Susan, my car got stolen last Friday night.
Yeah.
So I'm dealing with bankruptcy lawyer. I'm dealing, and I'm staying calm. So it's kind of funny with despite everything,
Yeah.
I'm just going to go with the flow because they say when you're angry, the ripple of the water, you can't see it, but when it's calm, you can see it. And, in a way, it was like my car didn't pass registration last year and it's due in September. So I'm worried, like,
Well, you ain't gonna worry about that because it's not there.
yeah, I know. So now I have to register a car.
Uh,
I'm now doing a rent a car. I'm just flowing with whatever is. I won a bunch of money
all I
registering.
can tell you is there's a reason for everything,
And
right?
that's why I'm just
Yeah.
trusting and letting go.
Yeah.
You know,
So I want to say hello, Charlie. How are we doing? How about the man you are in love with going to jail for, oh my goodness, wow, that's a big one. Let's take a look at Gail and then we'll take a look at this. Let's see, taken local honey harvested within 30 to 49 miles away from where you live. No kidding. Haven't taken any allergy meds in over 5 years. Wow, that's pretty awesome. So this is a tough topic right here. This is Charlie. Evidently, the man she's in love with is going to jail for murder. Now,
oh,
the question would be, did he do it or is he getting railroaded? That would be my first question there. If the individual is actually going, did he do it? And what were the circumstances?
well, how was the murder? What happened? Was there a fight? Was it a setup? I don't. It's like what
Yeah.
the details
So
are.
definitely more information, girl. Send over some more. Oh, and don't worry, guys. My hair won't be this boring for long. I'm doing it again tonight.
Well, and when I tell people when I do my tarot readings,
Yeah.
um, the more specific the question, the more specific I go into. Like I applied for one ocean, purple ocean, and it was just, I talked to my friends that were like psychic and they wanted like somebody to say, oh, on a video, it's like, well, what's going to happen in a year? And I'm like, and you got to do a 2-minute video of it. And it's like, it's really hard to do that unless you know the specifics because you narrow that path. So the more vague, this was
Yeah.
vague on
Okay.
it,
Here's
it's
the
so hard to
thing.
get into.
He did it. They were both still alive when the cops got there. One died in the hospital.
Was it a shootout? Was it a love dispute?
Okay, yeah. Okay, now here's going to be some random questions from the psychology side of it. One actually died in the hospital. and then Alice, we'll get to what's going on with you two as well. My question would be, did somebody break into the house? Because as far as I'm concerned, and I'm not sure which state you're in, but if somebody's going to break into your house, I'll tell you one thing, my man's going to take that guy out. So yes, that would be a definite thing. If somebody did break into the house, that boy would be going down. I can tell you, he wouldn't even hesitate. He would just say, go there, here we go. So that's one particular issue if they happen. They were his roommates and he shot them. Wow. Huh. See, my question right now, as far as what I'm actually getting or thinking, he called the cops. Is this a psychological thing, like temporary insanity, or does he have a history of like something psychological that caused him to
impulse
snap?
control, or
Yeah.
you
That's
know,
what I'm thinking. I'm thinking those two lines, according to like the defense, what would happen, because if you have had like a history, like somebody came back from war and they have PTSD, something flashes on them, they're gone. So there would be a psychological reason behind what happened. Or
well,
is
good.
this you didn't pay your rent, boom, boom, gone type thing? So it really depends on the situation because
That's what I'm saying.
psychologically, yeah, psychologically there could be issues behind what happened, which means that instead of actually physically going to jail, he should go and get some more help. Major trauma his whole life and using drugs. Yes, he needs to be hospitalized more than he needs to actually go to a jail because he's not getting any help in jail. And I know the individuals, parents or loved ones of the victims, they're not going to be happy with it. But the individual that did it is never going to get any better if he doesn't go get some help. That's my opinion. What's yours?
Does one of them have? I'm getting like a spirit or an energy of like a male with like shoulder length, kind of blonde, thick hair and intense blue eyes.
Oh, I don't
And
know.
that,
See what she says.
that's because I remember like one of my first psychic readings when I was like 20. A
Right,
friend of mine took me up to Quincy, California, and he had me tune in, and it was like I was seeing guns, and it
right,
turned out it was like a drug dealing place.
right.
You know? But
Well,
whatever
there
it is,
was, sorry,
no,
but
no, go ahead.
major trauma his whole life and drugs and using drugs. So that could be the thing. Now you have to remember about, oh God, this was a bit ago. There was something going around. Um, sounds like your brother. There was it that sounded like her brother who you described. There was something going around. They were lacing, and again, I don't do drugs, but they were lacing heroin with something, and it was doing something to some of the addicts in the local area. So a lot of them kind of just went blush. It wasn't very good. And there was another thing where bath salts were involved, and they looked like cannibals ready to eat something. So these are things that I would want to look into as far as what's actually happening with something like that. And she said the person you described sounded like her brother.
Okay. Well, and a lot of times when they're out of their body, the energies.
Right.
Sometimes people get possessed, especially when you get holes in your aura with
Yeah.
drugs and
Yeah.
drinking. Entities step in
Yeah.
and they manipulate. I mean, there's all these different things that are going on
Mm.
that are happening. Um, but that's what I was getting. The person. So is a brother connected with all this?
Oh, I
Or
don't know. Oh, you just asked that question. Why am I re-asking it like I am the only one that can see this person? I'm having a blonde moment. I need to do the purple and pink again. So yeah, he was using at the time. And she didn't know about the particular issue. Yeah, there was definitely a bad. I know an individual that lost his eye completely. It just dissolved from that. No, her brother was not involved at all in that.
but somehow
Yeah,
I was picking up her. Maybe her brother was in her energy, It's hard to separate
Yeah.
the energies, especially people are like interconnected.
Right.
You know,
I'm definitely getting all the drugs. I'm getting this. There was definitely a drug issue. And unfortunately, when people do use as far as like pills, it's easier to trace down what else was in it. It's very difficult when somebody is shooting up heroin to figure out what is actually going on. So, like I said, I have a degree in psychology, so I've dealt with a lot of issues. And sometimes there can be something in there. A lot of times people with an addiction issue have had major traumas in the past and they want to escape their emotions and their feelings. But, you get as far as you start off with small stuff and then you get into this addiction habit. Okay. People do get addicted to things because they get addicted to the numbness. And the only thing they have to worry about is not thinking about what they've been through, but they're thinking about, okay, how can I get high again? This takes the trauma away from them. So it becomes a bit of an addictive type personality. And the only way is to do it both ways. It's literally get them the help that they need. But if you're still going to numb them by adding the medication, onto what happens, that might be an issue. We also need to look at the holistic aspect of things as well. Go into the holistic way and get them that not just psychological healing, but also get that healing in their aura, the healings in their chakras. They need all of it in order to be more accomplished. So you have a degree in sociology, ooh, and minor in psychology. Yo, what's up, sister? Sorry. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, I
it's
look at
like
things from that point. Yeah,
we don't know what the breaking point is. When I was
right,
reading, as far as when people get stressed out, they get apathy. They get to the point where I don't care.
right,
You know, I'm just going to do whatever I need to do, and
exactly.
the whole story. You need to know whatever that energy is.
Mm.
So it's a little bit hard to. I mean, we could do all kinds of different
Yeah, the different types of
double
scenarios.
advocates.
But as far as that, I keep flashing on what happened when that issue came up, when there was something in laced in the heroin. Again, I heard from a couple of my clients from a long time ago. There was something laced in the heroin that was causing a couple of particular issues. Now, and then there was that people smoking bath salts coming out looking like they're like, oh shit, what's the name of that movie? What eat your brains? What the hell's the name of it? Dawn of the Dead. Thank you, Dawn of the Dead. I just weird way to describe things. So they were smoking the bath salts, and they literally looked like zombies, living zombies, and they weren't. So what if there was something? If this isn't part of his regular trait, was there something in there that caused it? Because I'm still leaning towards not, pretty much not his usual drug of choice. It's like there was something in there that caused a boom. I mean, it's not an excuse. I understand that he does have an addiction issue, but I'm just saying that there was something in there that caused the snap. That's what I keep getting.
I feel like I need to do a tone.
Okie dokie. Either Marcy goes Stevie Wonder or she stares into space. When that happens, put your headphones on. You're going to get
Well,
a
I was
polka.
waiting for. I didn't want to interrupt you and be rude. Like, hey, Susan, it's time to don't do your psychological stuff. You know, I just keep on getting the blonde. Maybe their energies. I don't know, but all
Maybe
right.
she's very close to her brother as well.
Yeah, and that's why. Like they were saying that I was just reading about telepathy, and telepathy isn't a mental, it's an emotional. So if
Right,
people are like I'll feel when my son is like gonna want to do something.
right.
So she might be really emotionally connected to him, which I'm picking up because it's all we're one person or energy, and it comes off into all that stuff.
Yep.
All right, I gotta hit some tones. Doesn't think this is me. All right. we have strings connections. And
Yeah.
so this is to help disconnect, like, as far as we're all like empathetic, we always carry that energy,
Right.
but we have to separate that energy so that we're back to ourselves and they're doing whatever they need to do, you know. And a lot of times when I've
Exactly.
done people that have died, I have helped connect with it so they can pass over freely because a lot of times there's unfinished business. And a lot of times they're floating around, or you're picking up telepathy, or you think you're going crazy, or
Right.
whatever's going on. And so this will help separate so you are back into yourself and they're all off with whatever guides or transitions that they need to do.
Exactly.
I got to hit a low tone. I keep on getting a blue eye looking at me. And it's also the sound of the healing if they're around. Um, it also helps them in their transitions also because when we die, we
Right.
have to go through our own therapy, because it needs to clear out whatever the trauma is that happened when it
Yeah,
happened.
agreed. She said, yeah, he was dealing with hardcore stress all of last year, like nonstop. Also, the day it happened was directly on, and again, I don't do the astrology aspect, I do numerology, but also, let's see, directly on the Venus and Chiron on Mars, directly on his moon. So that does not sound good. I don't know what that is. Let's see, Pluto was on his Venus. I suck at astrology, by the way. You'd have to get me an astrology for dummies book. I'm telling you. Everything else I can do that when I can. The soul tie with him is deep.
Well,
Uh, Several lifetimes together. So this
one
is
of the things
your
that
husband?
astrology is like I can't do it, but I have. It's on the list that Susan's going to write out. I did go
Yeah,
through
I
all the
will.
books,
I'm sorry. I've just been a real busy
but
thing.
this
But
is like spiritual astrology. It's our karma as to the solar and the lunar eclipses.
I
Like not,
understand what astrology is, but
but
in
this
order
is
to put
what.
it together and say first house, second house, that planet, Venus is doing this, I'm like, huh?
But this is easier to read, Susan, because it has to do with like our karma and our past lives.
Yeah.
Like
Is that
my
one of the
karma
ones on
is
the book
solar.
list?
What?
Is that one of the ones on the book list?
It's on the booklet. Yeah.
Okay. If you guys are a traveler of the Rift, that's where the book list is going to go. I just haven't had a chance to put it up, just to let
So
you know.
this book has to do with like with my solar being in Mercury because you go through your whole birthday,
Right.
and it's not like all the moon. It's the solar, the lunar karma. So
Right.
mine has to do with losses, but to be a Rolling Stone teaching for it. I lost my daughter. I'm losing my car. I'm losing all these things where I'm teaching like to let go. So
Yeah,
that's
when you
all
said
my
you were
karma.
being Rolling Stone, I literally just pictured the rock band from England. I'm sorry.
It's okay. But
Okay,
it has
Marcy's
to do
got to
with our
pull her
karma.
guitar out.
What?
I said Marcy's got to pull her guitar out now.
My Toro?
Yeah, guitar. The rock band.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't
So,
know what a 555 is.
well, that's anything to do with triple digits. One
Yeah,
one one 222 333 555.
right,
It's all like you do the solar, the
right,
numbers and the numerology, you know, as far as the master numbers.
right.
And five has to do with changes. Um, and it also has 15, which adds up to a six. So if you go look at angelic numbers on
Right.
555, you know,
Oh, so 555 is like an ascended master number.
bye, Travis.
Bye, Travis.
He's laughing.
That's my life path number. Soul urge and expression number is 5. As far as I've gotten is I'm a Gemini and I have a Virgo rising. But it's like I'm a very weird Gemini. I don't know. And a grand trine in my chart, whatever the hell that means, I don't even know that. But there are two different types, right, of alcoholics. Think of it this way. And this is where my psyche and my psychic are going this way. There is, say, we're just using alcoholics for a reason. There's a functioning alcoholic, somebody that drinks and functions on an everyday basis. And there's one that cannot function because they're that severe. They don't function at all. And as far as people on drugs, there's actually doctors that take heavy duty drugs and they function on a regular basis. So there is two different types of individuals who do get involved in drugs. It could be somebody professional, it could be not. So it really depends on what's going on. A Pisces, and I also have a Virgo rising. Gemini is a north node. I don't know what a north node is. I don't know what a south node is. I don't know what the nodes are. I know what no is. So, but yeah, there's a lot of different things that pop up, but I'm still getting it's like not non-functional. It's like functional, but there was kind of like a psychological type explanation behind what happened. My husband is a functioning alcoholic. Yes, I understand that. See, and that's what it is. There is functioning and non-functioning. Same thing. Doctors get addicted to their own drugs. They're still doing tons and tons of drugs, but yet they're functioning and getting high paid money. It's just something
If
that
they get
that
to the point of
happens.
non-function, they could function for a while. They
Right.
have blackouts. He could have had a blackout when all this happened. You never know. Somebody
Oh,
could
I
have
don't
stepped
know.
in.
That I don't know. I keep getting something happening in the within his latest batch. I don't know what to call it.
Right.
I'm
What's
getting
causing
the
the
latest batch.
blackout? Or
There's something in
yeah,
there and something occurring at the same time where it's like the two came together and went type.
there's one time where I had two different drugs in my hands,
Right,
and I could feel one was like hot.
right.
It's all energy. It's all, you never
Exactly.
know the vibrations as far
Yeah,
as what's going on, and whatever the dealer is or whoever's mixing it, you got to be careful. And that's what they said, we're having this whole epidemic of it. you
yeah.
know
Because that was a while back. That was I don't know. It was a long time ago. There was something about I was reading it. Oh God, I was reading it somewhere. But there was something about a batch coming up, and it really caused a lot of issues. And there was all those individuals in the news smoking bath salts that went going, "Hey, what's your brains?" They were coming out like that as well. So it was all those. But yep, Alice says her husband's a functioning alcoholic, and it's just sometimes some people aren't able to they're it's not that they're not able to function, it's just that they're trying to numb themselves in a way that could be harmful to their body would be the correct way to put that.
well, and sometimes the harm is so painful they'd rather stab themselves
Yes,
and deal with that physical pain than
exactly.
what goes on in their brain as far as the
Right.
conflict.
And this brings
And
up people that cut themselves psychologically. Why do
right,
they do that? Because they want to control the pain. In other words, the pain that they're receiving, they have no control over. So they cut themselves just to prove the fact that I can control the amount of pain I have. I can control it. I did this. That's why they do it. At least that's as far as the research and delving into it. That was one of the reasons. Yes, it's like they self mutilate in many different ways, whether it's through alcohol or drugs or cutting or purposely other things that they do. They're doing
well,
this so their brain can
one of
shut
the
down.
and this kind of reminded me when my boss and her family ended up becoming homeless and they lived with me, and I
Oh,
was dealing with my sister. that's when I got into my gambling, and it was almost like this illusion of um, being in control.
Yeah.
But then I was just reading about how, which made sense on it. It's like how we sabotage because if anything's good, then we'd rather be in control of sabotaging
Yep.
than it would be like, oh, well, I'm going to win money, so I'm going to hold on to it. No, I'm
Yep.
going to blow it. And it's like anything to do with people that are used to it. I've seen these people that have been around me that they get in their cognitive and they don't want to
Right.
look at reality and they want to blame everybody else. And they had opportunities, but they ended up screwing it up. So he might be subconsciously sabotaging, and it just went over whatever it is because if he's used to that over and over and over again,
Right.
it's normal. When people start feeling love or feeling when it's normal, it's out of control for them. So they find
Yeah.
stuff to screw up. And I
Exactly.
love this line where it's like when people are not ready to accept love and or money, they find ways to screw it up. I'm unworthy, you know. And so maybe something triggered him. Maybe he was starting to feel happy. You know, I don't know because
I'm
you
still
know,
getting as far, yeah, as I agree, but I'm still getting as far as that. There was a combination of two
right, that
different
the
things
wrong
that
drug.
caused the explosion. Almost like, from what I'm being told, almost like a PTSD
Right.
type. Yeah,
But
a
hormones and
PTSD.
harmony go hand
What
in hand.
Michelle said. Oh, I had a family member that was a cutter. He said it was to release pain. Yes,
Right,
because you can control that pain. But it's like, I think when somebody gets physically abused,
right.
it's a trauma in itself, but you can see the symptoms. When somebody gets emotionally abused, you can't see the symptoms. You can't go and heal from the pain as quick as that. I mean, I'm not really trying to compare the two, but psychologically, you want to control your own emotions, your own pain. You want to control it because a part of you emotionally feels like you can't. That's why they cut.
Well, and I always say this is hormones and harmony go hand in hand. The manic depressive, you
Right.
know, our chemical imbalance. And we never know what's going to get somebody to go over the edge of
Right.
snapping. I mean, I've snapped a couple of times. It's like a friend of mine that was an alcoholic was here. This is the second time he lived with me. Um, and I snapped. I took my walking stick and I started hitting him with him because he was supposed to start a new job and he
Right.
messed up. And it took me a long time because I was friends with him for years. But he
Right.
went from functioning to non functioning and rationalized everything. And so my dad was an alcoholic. And so I've been around all that mentality of stuff as
Right.
far as watching it. But the boundaries of it, you never know when they're going to snap or feel unworthy or feel guilty or go live back in their head. They don't want to deal with reality.
PTSD has a lot to PTSD. Anybody with a PTSD, and PTSD just isn't for individuals that have been to war, because some people's lives and the way they grew up is like war. It really is. The situations and the abuse that they've been through physically, mentally, emotionally, or all of the above does cause PTSD type reaction. So there's a lot of circumstances that would have to be looked into to see what actually caused the snap. And the only way to do that is to definitely, honestly, if I knew him, I would suggest that he get a psychological evaluation to find out
Most of the time they don't
what
do
happened.
that.
Yeah,
They
I
don't
would.
think that I don't tell crazy people they're crazy because they don't think they're crazy. You
No,
know,
but if the individual who did cause the murder is actually in court, has a lawyer, and might be going to jail
right.
for murder, then you need a psychological evaluation. You talk to the lawyer, have the lawyer suggest that. So yeah, definitely. So let's see. Emotional psychology, as yes, it does. Okay. Alice says, "Yep, childhood trauma causes PTSD as well." Yes, it does. It does. And a lot of us will outgrow that, and a lot of us won't. It really
Well, a
depends.
lot of times the wall,
Yeah.
we could start a, we could start our walls in infancy. You know,
Right.
when we know that it's like having to gauge whenever the energy is, or the repetition of the door slamming, or whatever it is. Something might
Right.
have done whatever is going on, but it's just layer upon layer upon layer as far as when I do like the energy work on it.
Right.
And I was just reading with Bashar, it's like Christ didn't heal people. You have to give yourself permission. You have to be sick and tired of being sick and tired of it.
Yeah.
And then you give yourself permission, say, I want to be healed. That opens up the energy. But if not, that wall's going to be there, and you're just going the healers is going to waste their time trying, whether it's a psychologist or a therapist or a healer or whatever it is that's going on. They have to be at a breaking point.
Yeah.
Um, when I was 30 years old and I had this guy, I got bumped out of where I was living. So this one guy was living with me, but he was stealing drugs from me to um, to go get drugs. And it was right on my 30th birthday, and I had a big sword from Costco or whatever it is that was going on. And I lived in a dome building.
Yep.
I was chasing him around with the sword, you know,
Yeah.
because I snapped. And then he's like, well, if you do that, that's going to go over your head. So I backed down. But after that, I'm like, I need a male therapist because I need to work on my male issues. And you
Uh,
know, he helped me a lot. He helped me, you know, he said my family was toxic. But it was all part of my journey. But I had to be at
exactly.
that breaking point. And some people don't get to that breaking point if people are enabling them or whatever's going on.
Exactly. It's a catch-22 difficult situation
Right.
because you think anybody could have a small issue, whether it's a street drug or a prescription drug. It's still a drug, and then all of a sudden one day they snap, and that's not normal for them. There's always a thing for me. It's like, why? What caused it? What happened? Because I think that's part of like my research type personality part of me where I got to research all this stuff first. So it's like I got to find out the details of everything that actually led up to what caused it. So one of those, hot and peck. Hello, Deborah Alexandra. So yes, definitely. One is legal, one isn't. Yeah. I mean, it's still, you get doctors prescribe drugs that are addictive, okay? And the street prescribes drugs that are addictive, but one you don't get in trouble for, and the other one you do, you know? So it's like they're legal, they add this really large issue with people that smoke weed. I personally don't smoke it, don't like the smell of it, but if you look at the root of the plant, there's a cannabis gel in there. It's like in its purest form in the root of the cannabis plant itself. If you extract that and they process it, there were individuals with, I forget that, where they can't stop shaking and they can't stop moving. They give them some of that every so often. It actually calms them down. They can actually function like everyday adults. So it really just depends on what happens if, yeah, Klonopins, and again, a prescribed drug, and that's the thing. You have to try to balance between what is good and what isn't, because some people have what is known as, like, say, an addictive personality. So it's really tough. If you have like an addictive type personality and you feel calm when you're taking something, you might have a tendency to take a little more. But if you're the type that, yeah, CBD is so much better, thank you, honey, than what people think, because it's natural. It's from the earth. It's a plant. And I'm not saying going out and saying, yeah, Scooby's gonna do me. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the other part, the CBD, that doesn't give you that type feeling actually works very well as a drug itself. It has really worked and healed with a lot of different things. I mean, that I have researched before.
Well,
Let's
it
see. Yeah.
depends. It's like I don't smoke pot, but when I did, I started on my journey with my friend Don, and he and I are still friends.
Oh,
I
we
work
all tried it
with
once or
it.
twice when we were kids.
Well, the whole thing with me is I would get more aware and I'd get more antisocial. So
Yeah.
everything, and they talk about different plants do different things and different reactions.
Yeah.
Guys told me take valerian root, which is what Valium's made out of, but you take it in small doses,
Right.
you know. And it's like, but I was hearing noises clang. I was feeling all these other stuff that are going on. So you never know what the mental capacity. And then it's like your weight, your height, like with prescription drugs.
Right.
It's like if it's a little old lady that has a same amount as far as a big guy, it's going to be different
Yeah.
because their size, their weight, everything is different as far as what's going on.
Exactly. I mean, I do agree that CBD has a lot more benefits than negative aspects. I mean, I actually knew there was a local vendor and a person's their four-legged friend, fur-tailed dog. I always call him their family member, had cancer, and she started with this CBD routine that's made specifically for animals. This animal, who was literally told that she was told that her four-legged family member was going to die, actually survived and lived a long life because of the CBD. And I think if more of the world out there looks into more natural remedies, we wouldn't have a lot of the issues that we do have today. You know, there's a lot of vitamins that heal. My man is he's got a whole bunch of like vitamins and minerals and things that he's really into that. And it's like it's come full circle. So there is good points. I mean, when people are smoking a little bit of marijuana, yes, it helps with glaucoma. Yes, it does help with people that don't eat. That's another good aspect. But if you get into the root part of it, which is the CBD, which doesn't have that, I forget what they call it. It doesn't have that aspect of it. That's a really, really good karma as long as you can handle it. And you know, that's the thing. Some people, they want that calm and they go overboard. That's the addictive type personality. So it really does depend. We totally went from one topic to the other, but that's okay. We always do that.
Well, that's our normal thing. It's like I
Yeah.
thought, we were talking like guys. You go like, oh, we did that last week. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, we're just
Yeah.
going with the flow of whatever it is.
Yeah, and I like the shows when we start off and you guys let us know what it is that you would like to talk about, what you need help with, and you know, we can be either your support system or Marci can pull out the tones and I'll do psychological and whatever the guides are telling me type situation. And that's what this show is built for, is exactly this. You know, it's a non-judgmental place for you guys to say exactly what's on your mind. That's what
Well,
it's
yeah,
about.
and there's
Yeah.
people that like want to control everything,
Yeah,
and everything has to be specific, and that stops the whole flow of the energy
exactly.
that goes
Like how
on.
Marcy and I usually start off on one topic and go to another anyway. So it really doesn't matter what I list.
Well, yeah, and I don't know if this is helping, on the conversation of it, but I pick
Yeah,
up ghosts. I am a medium. I have done energy work. I have
yeah.
done post traumatic. I have done, you name it. I've done it all on what's been going on. I've helped people transition as to um, into the spirit world because even though they die, they're still in their same state of mind. It's not like all of a sudden angels come. The angels would come to heal them, but there's all these different aspects that are going on, and there's an incompletion that's happening. It's like why, or whatever it is going on.
Okay, let's see. This is Charlie. She says, can I actually please ask how extensive Danielle and my own past life is. I don't know who Danielle is.
I'm the first thing that I'm seeing is like an old dirt road and like a crippled old man with a cane. And I don't know if she has
Ah,
issues with it. I mean, because I've done like text readings, it's still in the spirit, the energy. I don't
yep.
know if she's feeling like there's a part of it that feels um, disabled.
Danny, Daniel, male. Is this for one of us or for you, honey? Hold on, Lee. We'll get to you in a minute, hon. Danielle, Lee. Um, I don't know if it's the name you're getting, or if it's something you're actually asking us about, a specific name in a past life. I only know what my guides tell me to tell you. That is my person. Oh, you're from, oh my God, sure. God. My glasses really need, hold on. That's her person. Oh, all right, I get it. Hold on a minute, honey. So hold on. Yeah, we got to get into Sri Lanka. Is that right?
In the
Shrill.
in India,
Yeah, in India. Aye. So, all right. Oh, that's your person. Um, he needs to get help. If this is who I'm thinking of right now, you need to look at it and in a psychological aspect of it right now. That's the only way things are going to go a little bit smoother than what they're thinking initially. In other words, go to jail. That's not going to help. Getting the help might actually help and help alleviate things and give you a little bit more
now are we talking about the same subject or a different person?
same subject, I think.
Okay.
Okay. But we also have another question in this chat room. I think that's what, if you're talking about the individual, like a murder, a husband that actually murdered, um, I'm just getting, um, and again, for some reason, Danny's standing out and the other stuff that I told you. But right now we have about 12 minutes left. And he says, a witch doctor says he has a malevolent, excuse me, spirit on his back. And this is Kusan Lee.
Is this a different subject or the same one?
Sorry, this is a different question. This is
Okay.
somebody from um this is another individual, Kusan Lee, and he says a witch doctor says he has a malevolent spirit on his back.
Well, that's where it gets tricky.
Yeah,
I've depossessed people. I've pulled out cords. I've depossessed houses.
right.
You know, my tones. It's like there was one time where the client was there. They had a little kid that was around there. Where do they live? Because I'm seeing an old wooden house.
See, and I'm looking at his picture and his name, and I'm not getting anything negative.
Okay, where do they live?
I don't know. He says India.
Oh, then we're still dealing with the India.
Yeah, this is the question from the gentleman from India. And I
Okay.
guess Charlie was asking about their past lives together. I guess she's had many past lives with her husband. So she was asking about her past lives. Yeah, I can't do like literally past lives on the air. That usually takes a lot of focus. And that's something Marci does. So it's a little
I
bit
get
more detailed.
I
Yeah,
get because there are past, or present, or future all running
right,
simultaneously. But I'm getting a Japanese samurai energy. I don't know if you have a connection with Japan or samurai energy.
right.
There's one of them.
I'm sorry.
Um,
We're talking to two different people at the same time. I'm so
well, now
sorry.
I'm going into the past life stuff.
The past life
And
is from
here says,
Charlie. That's her picture. I know. is this happens, but somebody else says the witch doctor says, and again, that was Gansu Lee, says that he's witch doctor says he had a malevolent spirit on his back. By your picture and your name right now, I'm not getting anything negative. And as far as Charlie, that's the one we were talking about the murder, the
Okay.
murders. She said that she had numerous past lives with him, and I only get what I get. So unless something comes up, I can't really dig in deep as far as past lives.
Yeah, that's more like
Yeah,
private sessions
yeah,
because
that's more of
other
like a
people's
one-on-one.
energies that are going on.
Yeah,
I'll get flashes, I'll get energy, especially if we're having two different questions with two different people and two different things that are going on, and we're talking about spirits and all the other stuff that's happening.
yeah.
Um, I just get, we never have an ice cream truck. We're not allowed.
And I had an ice cream right after supper, by the way. Guilty.
So it's a matter of the connections. So whoever this is, I'm seeing a samurai energy, and then I'm also seeing the slavery energy.
Right,
And a lot of that our diseases carry over. Sometimes we have to work through them.
right,
So I'm not sure if this is Charlie that I'm getting up or the spirit, but then on the other one I'm getting an old wooden house. And
right,
sometimes we walk into it, they attach ourselves. They don't attach in hospitals and cemeteries. They attach where there's like a lot of life or people are stuck.
right.
Or there's a lot of energy that are going on.
Huh.
I just get an
Hello,
open house.
Ciara.
What?
Somebody just said hello, so I said hello, Ciara. So we got about 8 minutes left, but and again, unless to live on air with a lot of energy, sometimes it's
Right.
hard to pinpoint something that deep when the conversation was being looked into for other things. But I am literally not seeing anything. But what I can tell you is that if you keep saying that you do have negativity around you, you have negative spirit around you, they can attach. My advice is to get some sea salt. Okay. This will help
Well,
cleanse your
also,
home and yourself as well. Get some sea salt, pour 2/3 of a cup in a little shot glass, fill it up with water, put it in a section of your house that feels really, really negative,
Susan,
and
I'm
that'll
going to,
absorb the negativity.
all
Sage,
right.
and also do salt baths. Sage yourself as well.
Also, my tones have helped do it because it's a high frequency.
Yes,
So when you're a lower frequency with depression, energy, anger, got
right.
lower carbon energy, they're able to attach energy. I'm going to hit a really high note because I'm getting some type of chord connection incompletion
Okay. All
out
right.
of the
That makes
middle of the
sense.
back.
Yeah.
I'm going to get my crystal because I'm going to do a double whammy.
Okay. I'll
You,
focus.
oh, you got yours. Okay.
I got it.
I know. I'm reaching on my little shelf.
Mine's a widow.
What?
Mine's widow.
Oh, I've got my 10-pound crystal, but this is the one that was calling to me.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Some dark red energy just puffed out.
Ah.
All right, gray black smoke. And I've also done spells and curses. Some it's like energy emotion. Sometimes
Right.
people do that because I'm seeing somebody's energy connecting. Not necessarily maybe a spirit, but maybe like somebody's blocked or have anger or issues that are going on. But there's that high pitched stress sound that's releasing out. Are you feeling any better? Any lighter?
I don't know. I'm not connected to this
Oh,
one.
no,
You
I'm
are.
talking to whoever.
So, and that was for Lee. She was doing the tones for you. Sarah, we have 5 minutes left. Sarah, excuse me. Rage? No. Ray. Oh my God. I'll just call you Sarah.
What?
We have like 5 minutes left to this show, and Sarah said she has an odd question. So, but that's okay. We're odd. It's okay to ask weird questions here.
That's why we're here, so that all the weird questions people can feel normal.
Yeah.
Because
Literally, feel
we've gone
normal.
through all this stuff. I've gone through 40 years of depossession, astral projection, ETs, all the other stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why Susan and I get along. So it's like you could feel normal, especially if you're an empath, because you pick up this stuff. And this is to make it sound
My
like
daughter-in-law just popped on. Everybody say hi to Maria Elizabeth Mandel. I love you. Sorry.
that's okay. But so just
Okay.
so you guys will not get judgments,
All right, here
know.
we go. You're welcome, honey. A few years ago, a haunted hospital burnt down. There was a lot of old bricks just laying around. Did you happen to take one of those bricks? You have to remember, objects hold energy as well. She's the mother of my beautiful twins and my
Oh, okay.
gorgeous little boy there. Beautiful
It's
twin
some part
granddaughters.
wood, because I keep on getting like a
Yeah,
wood panel energy.
yeah. So my mom got some of them before she passed. Ooh. Anything holds energy. You have to remember, like, there's like haunted collections. There's a reason for that. But if there is a severe haunting, even the land itself, Mother Earth, can hold the energy of what has happened before. That's why a lot of times when psychics go in on an investigation, there's blood on the land is what they're feeling until they can actually see what happens. Um, Honestly, if you can remove the bricks, I would remove the bricks. I would get rid of the bricks, but I would put them in salt water. Sea salt will help dissolve the energy around them. I was wondering if I should get some for the dust to use for protection. I was wondering.
Are we still talking about India, or are we talking about
Sorry,
someplace
we're,
different?
we're on Sarah right now. We have 3 minutes left. Um, Honestly, I'm still getting sea salt in the ocean. The bricks, because of the type of bricks they are, I wouldn't use them if they're haunted. I'm sorry. If they're haunted, it's definitely negativity. Yeah, negativity.
I mean,
All right,
I'm
we've got
walking
2 minutes left. Sorry, guys. Any final words?
I walk into buildings and I get headaches. I'll hear screaming. I'll hear
Yeah,
because that energy, that's
exactly.
especially if it's back east, you know, because you guys have all those wars and histories and all the other stuff where it's a pile upon pile
Right.
of spirits that are there.
You're welcome, honey. Honestly, sea salt, like in the ocean. Literally, haunted items are really nothing. Normally, haunted items have to be locked in a private room and they have to be blessed on a regular basis. But I'm sorry, Lee, I am not getting anything about a spirit right now or a gut issue. I do apologize, but it's kind of the end of the show. So I want to thank you guys for coming in and talking with us today. And I really do enjoy the open forum. And I think this is the way I
Oh,
want
I
to
do
leave
too.
it.
I love it.
I just want to leave it like this. Catch you next week. Yes, sorry, honey. We got into detail. Don't forget at 8:30, check out SS Crystal and Crafts. There she's going to be yeah. I talk to myself as I'm third person. She's going to be debuting a couple of her latest items. She is a sponsor for the Rift Nation Network. And don't forget, check out the Rift Nation Network every chance you get. Follow, like, subscribe, okay? And I want to say peace. And Marci wants to say bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Sorry, guys. It's one of those shows today. Let me find. There it is. Peace. See you in a half hour. At least I will.